Peace and life, family. I hope that y'all are well. Let me make sure I got my stuff together. I just finished having some good vegan food. But yeah, I hope that y'all are well, family. So today is Saturday. It's been a beautiful, very peaceful day. We have a new moon in our horizon, and the new moon is in Pisces. So with this new moon, it brings a lot of sensitivity, I should say. That's the perfect word for it. It brings a lot of sensitivity. At this time, a lot of people are sensitive. So that means that like spirits are very much heightened. You have spiritual sensitivity very much heightened. And then people are just also emotionally sensitive at this time. So today I have been just making sure that I'm consciously, very consciously treading very lightly with my words and my actions, and making sure that I'm speaking a lot of love and light into people. Please join patreon.com/TheQueenPo. I should have put that in the description, but that's the site, patreon.com/TheQueenPo. I'll put it in the description afterward. But yeah, so we are in a new moon in Pisces, a lot of sensitivity. I'm well, Maya. How are you? So just be mindful of your words that you speak and be mindful of your actions, because a lot of people, everyone is experiencing some emotional sensitivity at this time. So just be very conscious of that. Also, just be well aware that right now our spiritual senses are heightened. So if you are in touch with your spirit in the least sense, or in touch with your intuition, you'll notice an increase in your intuition within this week. Starting today and then this upcoming week entirely, you'll feel an increase in your intuition. So truly follow that intuition. And if you get like an inkling that there's something that you should do or say or write or whatever, do it, because your spirit is at a heightened connection with the universe right now. So you really want to make sure to pay very close attention. This new moon in Pisces brings a lot of sensitivity, which can be amazing and can be beautiful because of the heightened spiritual senses, and because just we feel more connected emotionally and more vulnerable. It brings us to a very vulnerable space. But because of that vulnerability, a lot of people right now can be a bit testy. So although it's a great thing, we want to be mindful of how we are doing. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. You was up and down in emotion today. Yes. And that's the thing. I understand that a lot of people have felt like very up and down. So I do a lot of spiritual consultations, one-to-one spiritual consultations, and a lot of clients were like checking in today, like, is something going on? I'm not feeling well. A lot of people were feeling very shaky. So I was doing like a lot of guided meditation, and I was doing like just a lot of spirit work today with certain clients, and I realized that a lot of people were feeling a very up and down. But feeling up and down, Maya, is a sign that your spirit is trying to tell you something. It's a sign that your intuition is trying to speak to you, so that's a time to really be still and open yourself up and tap in. And a great way to do that is through guided meditation and just allowing yourself to fully relax and open up and hear what your ancestors and what your spirit guides are trying to tell you. Trust me, there's some great information. I even did some work on myself today, and the ancestors came through. That's all I'll say on that. The ancestors came through. But yes, this new moon in Pisces is a great time for, just having a deeper connection with our spirits and our intuition. But my intention for starting this live was to check in with y'all, of course, but I really wanted to answer the question, why only $5 for the masterclass? My sister Jaleesa Woke, shout out to her. She asked that question in the comments. She was like, all of this for only $5? Like, you sure you don't want to charge 10? And then she finished the rest of the video and was like, I see that you charge and you have like tears. So yes, for the masterclass, it's on patreon.com/TheQueenPo. Patreon.com/TheQueenPo. I'll put the hyperlink in the description after this video is over. I don't know why I didn't do that before I started, but I'll put it in after the video is over. But the reason that I'm doing it, I have a $5 tier. I was on the phone with a sister friend of mine, and peace, T. Davis. And T. Davis, you guys, was such a blessing and an inspiration as well to start the Patreon. It was confirmation, and I'll explain that whole story. But I was on the phone with a sister friend of mine, and I was telling her about the Patreon, and just really like telling her that I decided to do it and it's done. And she was like, $5? Like, why would you do all of that for $5? So I wrote like basically a syllabus really for myself of like a list of things that I'll discuss and share. And I shared it with her, and she was like, no, that's too much for $5. And she went on to talk about her spiritual experience. And she took a class. I'm not going to say the name of the class, but she paid over $700 for the class. And she was just like, you should charge way more. And honestly, you guys, I want to explain why I'm only charging $5. Peace, Kelly. I want to explain why I'm only charging $5. So the reason that I'm only charging there's a $5 tier to start, and then there's a $10 tier and a $20 tier, and the higher the tiers, the more you get. But the reason that I have a $5 tier where you still have access to all of the courses is because, honestly, you guys, this is information that I would teach for free. It truly is. This is information that I would teach for free. African spirituality and traditional African religion is my passion. And teaching people about holistic wellness is my passion. So I genuinely would do it for free. I swear to you I would. And the only reason I am charging is because, you guys, I need to survive. Okay? Like, I need to survive. So that's the only reason I am charging anything. But I really would give this information for free. And the reason I have a $5 course is because I remember what it was like and the experiences that I still have to this day of when I want to sit with the practitioner, I want to talk to an elder even, and I have to pay these large amounts of money just to be able to get some knowledge. And I don't want anyone to experience that with me. I made a vow to my ancestors, to my spirit guides, that I will never be led by money. And not to say that those people are. However, I truly, truly believe that African spirituality is the root of all things spiritual when it comes to making a deeper connection to the universe and to spirit. I truly feel that, and I know that for sure. And the biggest thing for me is I want everyone to have access to the knowledge. And once again, I remember what it was like when I was on my journey, was just starting my journey, and I was seeking information, and I would find classes, and they would be $200, $300, some $700 to take a 3-month course or something. And once the course was over, that was it. You didn't have the information anymore. And I remember feeling daunted because I couldn't afford it at the time, and I felt like I couldn't do it. So the reason that I wanted to make sure that I do thank you so much, Bella Butterfly, I appreciate that. The reason that I chose to do $5 is because $5, you guys, is a lot of money for some people. And I remember when $5 was a bank breaker for me. I remember growing up and my mother had to borrow $5 from somebody. I remember that, and I never forget it. I never forget that feeling. And I recognize that $5 a month for a lot of people is a huge sacrifice, and it's a huge offering. So that is why I have a $5 tier, because I recognize that this information, that practicing African spirituality, was the breakthrough that I needed to tap into my abundance. I'm going to say that again. African spirituality, traditional African religion, once I started practicing, that was the breakthrough that I needed to tap into my abundance. So if someone only has $5 to offer, I am appreciative of that, and I accept that, and I'm truly grateful in recognizing that $5 may be a lot for some people, and this information may be the breakthrough they need to get to their abundance, so that $5 is no longer a lot to them. So that is why I have a $5 tier. I want this information to be accessible to so many people. Anyone who wants it can get it. And that's what the purpose of having the $5 tier is. That's what it's for. And the biggest thing for me is I just want everyone to know that it's for you too. I don't care what class you are. I don't care where you work. I don't care what you do. I don't care where you are in your journey. There are people who start their African spiritual journey, and they are full-blown addicts. I spoke about that in my previous video. They're full-blown addicts. And it's for you too. Because once again, when you start practicing African spiritual traditions, when you truly start practicing, you start to feel a change. The universe opens up for you and makes a way for you that you, trust me, you have never seen or felt before. It is truly a gateway opener. So once again, I want people to have access to this information, and I want them to be able to practice, because this practice may be the thing that they need to open up the gateway to their abundance. So $5 the classes start at. I put up a video today in the Patreon explaining exactly how it works. I just posted it, so it may take a few minutes to appear for all the patrons. Thank y'all so much for the people who have already joined. I appreciate the fact that it was so well received. I woke up this morning and I just like immediately, was so grateful and thankful. And I went into a praise moment, because I just really wasn't expecting it to be that well received. And I'm grateful for it. I truly am. And we are here and we are starting. The wellness community is here and we are open to all. Come in with positive intentions. Come in with love. And I appreciate y'all. T. Davis. Hey, niece. So T. Davis, my niece Tamara's word. That's my niece, y'all. So T. Davis, definitely I want to give a big shout out to T. Davis and say thank you to T. Davis, because I was praying, you guys, and I was kneeled at my altar and I was communing with my ancestors, and I was contemplating whether or not I should start the Patreon. And I was like, you know what, just communing with my ancestors. I ain't gonna go detail for detail of what I was communing on, but essentially it was, the next step in my business. What should my next step be, and making my path clear and guiding my steps, and really just financial abundance, because I want to be able to work full time in holistic health solely and focus all my attention there, and not be concerned about whether or not or how I would be provided for. Hey, Natty. And I was at the altar and I was communing with my ancestors, and I was like, I really feel led to start this Patreon, but I know that it's a commitment, and I'm ready for the commitment. But if it's meant for me, just I let my ancestors know that I'm open to a sign. I'm open to a sign. Just send me a sign. You guys, as soon as I concluded, I said my ashes, I stood up, go to my phone to check my email, and I get an email from T. Davis. And not only is T. Davis sending me an email where T. Davis is blessing me with an offering, an abundant offering, but T. Davis also said, have you ever thought about starting a Patreon? That's confirmation, you guys. Immediately. That's confirmation. And this is what I mean about traditional African religion, where when you start practicing, I can tell you an abundance of stories like that, where immediate confirmation, immediate blessings, and that's why I understand where, there's someone out there who are like, I want this information. I've been looking for this information, but I don't know how I'm going to get it. I appreciate you endlessly, T. Davis. You will forever be a part of my story. But there's maybe someone out there who's like, I want this information and I need this information, but I just don't know where to get it from. Or if you were anything like I was, you couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford the $700, $800 courses. I couldn't afford to go to the ceremony to learn how to properly do an Oshun moon ceremony, and I got to pay $75 to get in the door. It was like, what? $75? Like, I ain't got that right now. I remember that feeling, so we got a $5 tier, and I appreciate it, and you will have access to all the courses. Listen, okay, Bella Butterfly, it was real. I still got some stories, okay? I was trying to go to an herbal course last year, the end of last year, October. I was trying to go to an herbal course with a very well-known herbalist and practitioner who's very well-known in the African traditional community. And sis was charging $250 for a 2-hour class. $250 for a 2-hour class. And I was like, I can't. Sis, can I Skype in? Can somebody FaceTime me while they there? Can y'all go live or something? Can I do something? You know, $250. And I'm sure that she shared an abundance of information. And this is not to knock anybody who charges that amount of money, because the logic, because I've asked the elders, I've asked them, and the logic is, thank you, niece, and the logic is, they say, like, you know, that they've spent so many years and so much money investing in their knowledge because they had to pay, and that person had to pay the person that they learned from. So it's kind of like a pay it forward thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I had to pay to get the information, so now y'all got to pay to get the information because I need to recoup what I paid. And that's not no knock to them, but that's just not the energy that I want to put out. You know what I'm saying? I've been blessed and abundant to grow up with African spiritual tradition, and also to find ways to study and learn without having to pay an abundance of money. And and although I have taken some of the, you know, some of the classes and stuff like that where I have had to pay a lot of money, but I just don't want to pass that energy forward. I want that to stop right now. I want this information to be available to a multitude of people. The intention of the wellness community is to build a community of love and support where individuals who are on their spiritual journey can come together and we can collectively journey on with the intention to love and support each other. So we will have a group chat that is solely for patrons where we could check on each other throughout the day and show each other love and lift each other up. Of course, we have the Patreon where, you know, in the comments and stuff we can discuss. I'll be going live on Patreon where, you know, we can live chat and talk about the book recommendations and the documentary recommendations. And, you know, I'll be going live with some moon ceremonies and stuff like that for my patrons. So it's just a community where we could just come together and do this together, y'all, because something I noticed when I talk about African spirituality, it's always somebody who says that they feel like they're alone, you know, and I don't ever want you guys to feel like you are alone. Natty and T. Davis, I appreciate y'all rooting for me and advocating for me. I appreciate that. But I never want anyone to feel like they are alone in this journey. So the intention of the wellness community is for my people who are going against the grain of your family. If your family is not supporting your spiritual journey, your husband or your wife is not supporting your spiritual journey because they just ain't aware yet. They just don't know what it means yet. They just not there yet. You know, even if you don't have anybody around you in your direct circle that can support you, you got the wellness community that's here, and we're here to lift you up. And you going through something, we can hit you with some recommendations, or we can hit you with some words of encouragement and support. You need to talk for a second. It's some people in the wellness community that's going to pick up that phone for you and help walk you through some steps and some practices on how to move better and how to get better. So I'm bringing in, it's not just going to be me who's a practitioner in the wellness community. I'm bringing in some of my very close sisters. One of my close sisters is a sacred woman. She did the Queen of Fua Sacred Woman Journey, and she studied directly under Queen of Fua. So she'll also be checking in when she can and offering some words of wisdom and some advice. Sacred Woman will actually be one of the books that we dive deep into and we discuss. It'll be one of our book recommendations that'll come up in one of the monthly newsletters. And for that entire month, we'll focus on the Sacred Woman journey. And I'm going to bring my sister in, and she's going to break down some stuff for y'all like it ain't never been broke, that she learned directly from the Queen of Fua herself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm bringing her in. I have another sister who is deep into healing through food. She's a vegan chef and she heals through food. So she'll definitely be coming in and giving some recommendations and advice. She already gave me a few recipes to throw into the newsletter, so I'll be throwing that in. But this is a community, you guys, and I'm serious when I say this is a community. It's a collective. So thank you to everyone who has joined. Once again, it's only $5 minimum to join. We have a $5 tier, a $10 tier, and a $20 tier. Patreon.com/TheQueenPo. But that's why I did it for $5, y'all, so that we all can afford to go on this journey together. I don't want it to be an extreme hardship for anybody. It's only $5 one time per month, and you got it. And once you have access to the courses, you got them forever, okay? Miracle Wally, I saw you in there, girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I posted it for all my patrons. I posted a video in there But I just posted it like right before I started this live, so I don't know if it appeared immediately and y'all can see it, but I'm actually about to get off live right now, and I'm gonna check and make sure everything is uploaded. But it's a welcome to the wellness community video where I'm explaining the intentions of the wellness community and exactly how to utilize the Patreon to your fullest benefit, and then how you all will be able to join the group chat so that we can chat in and check in on each other anytime we need to throughout the day and stuff like that. All right, peace, family. Thank y'all so much for supporting. T. Davis, again, thank you for your confirmation and for your love and your support. I appreciate that. Everyone who has already signed up and committed to the Patreon, I appreciate y'all, and welcome to the wellness community. And if you are considering it, please just join. $5 a month. Message me, and let me explain something also. This is truly with love and with support. If you cannot afford the $5, send me an email at TheQueenPo@gmail.com. Send me an email to TheQueenPo@gmail.com. If you cannot afford the $5 this month, please send me an email, TheQueenPo@gmail.com, and I'll respond to you and we can have a discussion. And also, you can sign up at any time. You don't have to join right now. It's open endlessly. Okay, it's open endlessly. But definitely, if you cannot afford the $5 and you don't see yourself being able to afford the $5 next month or the month after, please hit me at TheQueenPo@gmail.com and we'll talk. All right. Much love. Thank you so much. We'll be here in March. We got you. But send me an email. Send me an email. If you can't join right now, but you'll sign up in March, send me an email. Okay. All right. Much peace, family. Love.